その分どの動物も満足できるよう栄養も味もよく考えられている。
Welcome back to my channel, and today's video is brought to you by this viewer who wanted to see food from Beastars, specifically the breakfast that's served at Cherryton Highschool. So in the anime, they show that the carnivores and the herbivores eat different breakfasts, and they actually served this in the Beastars cafe that was in Tokyo, so I wish I was there. But here's some photos that I found from someone's blog. So from all the items here, there doesn't seem to be something that requires a recipe, except for the tofu donuts. So this video is going to be the tofu donut recipe and how to put together the rest of the breakfasts. So we're going to start with the tofu donuts. So it's actually a pretty popular breakfast item in Japan, and this recipe is going to be adapted from another YouTube channel called June's Kitchen. It's one of my favorite YouTube channels, and he makes some amazing food. So first, we're going to need some silken tofu. I'm using half a container because the amounts were unknown in his video. I'm eyeballing and I'll report the numbers if it turns out okay. So this would be about like 250 grams of tofu. Don't forget silken tofu. So we're just gonna take that, mash it up. So now that your tofu is sufficiently mashed up, it doesn't have to be too fine because it's gonna continue mashing in the mixing process. I'm gonna start with 1 cup of pancake mix. And give that a good mix. So by the looks of things, this is still a little too moist because we do want a nice dough that we can handle. All right, so that was 1 cup. Let's add 1/8 of a cup. Okay, now this looks like a good dough. And next we'll need some rice flour or mochiko flour. This will give your donuts that kind of mochi, bouncy texture that you want. And I'll just add about 2 tablespoons. I think it needs more flour. And the more that I work it, as the tofu breaks down, it's releasing more of that liquid. And I just realized I need more and more dry. So let's do that. Now this is more like it. Okay, so once you have a dough ball, get ready a surface. Okay, so I'm using just a pan so the flour doesn't fly everywhere. But basically you need a surface, and then you want to line your surface or flour your surface with a bunch of rice flour. And that'll have like a nice crispy outer texture. Maybe I need more. Okay, my dough might be too wet. My dough might be too wet, I don't know. Okay, we'll figure this out. And then you just want to shape it into a nice rod shape. Get that nice and covered. And then you want to fuse the end together. Like that. And then just kind of keep shaping it until it looks like a nice even round donut all around. Just hope it'll keep its shape, so like flimsy and stuff. I'm gonna start with this first donut and then see if it turns out okay. Okay, so I'm using a small pot here to conserve oil, and into the pot we're going to add frying oil. So here I'm using canola oil. So we'll turn on the heat to medium high, and we want to heat the oil to 170 degrees Celsius. It's pretty high. Ready? So our oil is hot now. I'm going to drop in one of our donuts and hope for the best. They're really flimsy. Whoop. And basically when one side is brown, we can flip it over. Ooh, and let's get ourselves a plate and line that with paper towel. Okay, now it's nice and puffed up and I can see some golden brown on the other side. So I'm going to flip it over. Wow. Whoa. So when you have your donut golden brown all around, that's done. So let me just fry the rest of my donuts. So the Herbivore meal also comes with sides of steamed vegetables. And in the anime it doesn't really show, but in the Beastars cafe in Japan, there's steamed lotus root, kabocha squash, carrots, baby corn, and also broccoli, which I forgot to get. So these veggies, we're just going to put that aside for steaming. And as our vegetables are steaming, let's work on our carnivore meal. So for a carnivore meal, obviously there's no meat. So they have soy burgers as their meat substitute. And what's the best soy burger you can get? Obviously the Beyond Meat burger. Not a sponsor. So we're going to just fry up 2 Beyond Meat patties. That's it. If you don't have Beyond Meat where you are, you can just buy any kind of vegan burger and it should pretty much be the same. And we'll cook this about 5 minutes per side. Okay, so our Beyond Meat soy burgers are done and these look pretty good. So let's set that aside, wipe off the pan, and we'll work on our scrambled eggs. So with the carnivore meal, there's also scrambled eggs. Obviously, eggs by my girl Legome. Don't forget to watch this video if you haven't. So here I cleaned up the pan and we have 2 scrambled eggs here. So let's just pour that in. There's a little bit of grease left from the Beyond Meat, so it helps with the whole scrambling egg process. Don't want your curds to be too big or too small. Alright, so that's already good. Let's turn that off. And honestly, the veggies are pretty much done at this point and we can plate our meals. Let's go! So we're gonna start with plating our carnivore meal. So my mise en place tray is now a lunch tray. So we have our soy burger, and to make it like, you know, a Japanese hambagu, we're gonna add some tonkatsu sauce on top. And there's cherry tomatoes. So I have a few cherry tomatoes here. Just put them on the side. And we have our scrambled eggs. And on the scrambled eggs, there's some ketchup. So let's do that. A nice squirt of ketchup. And also there's a dinner roll. I got these nice cute dinner rolls. Boom. Ooh. And we have one more thing. I've got almond milk. Sorry, I don't have cow's milk. And here it is. The lunch served at Cherryton High School. I'm not gonna eat this yet, but I already know how this is gonna taste. What really matters is the donuts, so let's plate our omnivore. Omnivore? What do omnivores use? Our herbivore meal. My nice tray is already used up, so I plated my herbivore meal in my cute little bento box. I have my tofu donuts and my steamed vegetables. So here is our herbivore meal. I guess it comes with a side of some kind of vegan milk too. So what really is important are the donuts. So let's try these. They're a little bit greasy. I think I didn't adjust the temperature right. So make sure your temperature is always at 170. Don't let it drop below or let it go higher. Just a nice kind of a bready donut, but also greasy, unfortunately. And just with a hint of sweetness, I can totally see this being a good breakfast item. Maybe not every day, but I think this is a success. So here is how you make the breakfast from Beastars. So I really enjoyed Beastars season 2. I just want to point that out. If you watch Beastars season 1 and you're like, season 2 is not always so good, and we saw a lot of that, like Promised Neverland, Dr. Stone, it was all in the same season, just didn't really like hold its place. Beastars, that was a banger season. So I hope you watch it, hope you make this, and I'll see you next time. Got you thinking like that, boy.